Just like a lounge singer.
Hello.
Okay, so
I did it my way.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Well,
the fourth wheel.
The fourth wheel. Hey, you know what we should?
We can
do?
now drive an entire car.
Yeah,
Because
It's a car.
four wheels.
yeah,
Although some
some
vehicles
cars have
three.
wheels now. Yeah.
Right. So should we welcome everyone to
Are they
this
cars then,
podcast?
or are they spiders?
Are we? What do you mean?
When do you want to start?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, you know what? I'd like to start now, and I'd like to welcome everyone out there
Where are you pointing?
in the Greg and
Are you
Tim
looking at the
universe.
light?
Over here,
Camera's
here,
down there. Yeah.
back to the Greg and Tim show.
Back.
And I want to start the episode with an apology.
Yeah. I would like to
I
apologize. Can I
apologize for not apologizing to Tara Moslowski the last episode. She was supposed to come on the
But we ran out
podcast
of
with us,
time.
and we ran out of time. So luckily, we have her here in the studio beside us now. So she did. Oh no, it's not
No,
Tara. It's
you
not
still
Tara.
didn't get Tara.
We didn't get Tara.
No.
She didn't return the phone call.
He didn't return your phone call.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
But then,
next time.
then again, your phone call comes up as Evan Sandercock.
Yeah.
How's your social media account doing?
People keep adding me.
Really?
Why? I've done nothing other than have this stupid
It's the
picture
Luigi mustache
with the Luigi
Yeah.
mustache. And all I posted one time was enjoying the Greg and Tim show or the Tim and Greg show. I don't remember what I
Right.
put. Right. So,
Always called it the Tim
Yeah.
Greg show.
It sounds about right.
well, you know what? We have a fantastic show, and you know what? We have something different. And first of all, this table's set up, which something's happening.
When the table gets set
Not
up.
just the two of us.
It's usually me just
The last time that we did a podcast, I stormed in on you and Lorraine doing the podcast.
That's right.
Is a proper
Is
way
that
to-
what they
is
call
a,
it?
is a proper way to
Is
end that
what they call
sentence. and my
Only you were 5 minutes earlier.
and so
What those couches you've seen.
people
No.
Well,
No.
me and the dog were just
so no
cuddling.
so no.
Dog.
Is that your official answer? Then no. I think that's not a
believe
no.
Jeff.
I think the
No.
couches have seen some things, but
I
you.
got them when I was 18 years old. Of
So-
course,
so-
they've seen a lot of things.
So two.
Butts, mostly butts.
yeah.
Kids' butts.
Face got red.
Kids' butts.
We can now see you.
No longer washed out.
She is no longer washed out.
Hey, we have to do one thing before we start the podcast.
Before we start the
Can you
podcast,
believe what happened in Canada this week? We're going to talk about that later on.
yeah.
Okay. So stay
And
tuned.
this commercial break.
Well, no, we're not having a commercial.
Are we gonna
Hey,
talk?
welcome to the Greg and Tim Show.
It was the dog whatever the dog friend commercial, right? Pause and whatever you were talking about earlier.
Paw
No.
Patrol?
Paw Patrol. No,
Wags
Wags and
and
Tails.
Tails?
It was Wags and Tails. That was the commercial. You missed that.
Oh. I'm
Anyways,
just going to lower your microphone a little bit. There we go.
but
He loves to have it like, it's basically this is what he wants to do.
anyway.
Hello.
Anyway, so 2 episodes where the guests have seen your wife.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do an episode where
Or we bring
people
your
saw
girlfriend.
my lovely wife,
Your girlfriend said
who's
no?
who's sitting beside me.
Tammy, I don't think we're gonna get to talk at all.
No,
so
it's okay.
we're
This
just-
is like our life.
So welcome.
This is basically when we go and sit around a table
Yeah.
for dinner.
Right.
It's usually me and you talking,
And Tammy and I are the third and fourth wheel.
third and fourth wheels. And then what happens from there is that we share a meal
We share a meal.
until
We share a meal.
Tim
until-
actually takes food off your plate.
until you put your fork into the meal, and then I'm like, I guess I'm done for the night. We had spoons. We have spoons in the bowls for a reason.
By the way, I think someone by the name of Lorraine Lewert said that she did talk quite a bit at 1.5 speed. So she actually did talk quite a bit. So I won't say it's not just the two of us talking. In your episode, you talk quite a
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to keep Greg in on direction.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
He was
you
just
were
all over the place.
Nope.
Tammy, do you
It was
believe
her
that? Oh,
went all-
okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute.
We were halfway through. I'm like, I still don't know what you were wearing on your
What did
first
she
day.
wear?
Can you
She
tell
was-
me?
I just
and I
kept
don't think
people
we ever found
listening.
out.
Oh, you
We're
guys-
driving.
Yeah, on the next episode, did you not watch that
Oh,
one?
I missed that part. No, I listened. I missed the part.
We talked
Yeah.
about it.
Oh.
Because Tim was also
So
very
I probably
curious.
squirreled.
No, I was
Girl?
curious because she's yelling that in the car. We're driving across the border.
What are you wearing?
And it's like, I just want to know what she was wearing on the first day, dang it.
Yeah, we said it
I
in
don't even
the second version of the episode when Tim
Yeah.
jumped in the middle of us.
And what she was wearing on those couches.
Okay, what are we talking about today? I have
So,
no idea.
We have a few topics that
We
wanna
haven't
talk
actually
about.
welcomed Tammy to the podcast. by the
Welcome
way.
Tammy to the podcast.
Welcome here.
Can we get a cheer?
Roof. Yeah. Woot. To the roof. Welcome here, babe.
Babe,
Yeah.
is that what you call Tammy? So first topic.
we have different
No,
nicknames
first-
on the couch or off the couch.
First
This
topic.
is all going to be about the couch. What
First
that
topic
couch
of
has
the
seen.
episode is
This will
do
be called
you-
What That Couch Has Seen.
How many times? Let's count. Okay, drink every time Tammy hits Tim.
Yeah. I'd be drunk by the end of this episode. Good thing I'm drinking water. So
Yeah.
Tim, my first question is
Yeah. Oh, I get the first question.
No, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get the first question.
Yes.
Okay.
My first question is you said, babe.
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname that you call your wife all the time? Or do you go through multiple nicknames?
There's not one particular nickname.
Tammy?
No, I can't even. Do I call you some? I call babe.
Yeah.
Babe?
We do not have a specific special
No.
nickname.
No?
Neither do we.
I call you Lolo.
Yeah, that's not endearing.
No,
And
it's
then
a
when I was
nickname.
pregnant, he used to call me Slolo.
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 Something you didn't know about Greg.
Well, about Lorraine is that she was so slow when
Yeah.
she was
I
pregnant.
was pregnant.
But here's
And he would park at the convention center when we'd go to Jets games. That's a long walk.
You didn't
Yeah,
pray
it's
for
a-
you didn't
it's
pray
2
for a
blocks.
closer
9 month
you didn't pray
pregnant
for a
woman.
closer parking spot?
I didn't. I wasn't blessed with a closer parking spot actually. Back then the Jets used to sell out.
Or did you ask her to drop you off at the arena and then
She
she
had
would
to
go
walk.
in that and then you're like, it's halfway through the first period, Lorraine. Where were you?
No, like even leaving
Slolo.
the house, she would be like, it would take her forever to put her shoes on.
Well-
It would take her forever to
There
get
is
going.
a
And you know what?
lot going on.
She's still slow though.
When I was pregnant. I'm fast now.
She's not fast.
Speedy fast.
She's the last one. out
Always
the
on
door
time.
Every
Greg
time.
never has to worry about being late to anything.
Okay, wait,
Actually,
so
that's
what,
probably his biggest stress in life
Right.
is being late and me making him late.
right. But I heard that if you're not 10 minutes early, you're
You're
late.
late.
That's right.
You know what? I actually we're on the
a
same page.
very, very common
Yeah.
like concept amongst people that are successful.
So in the green room before the show was taping, I
Eating
was
my
talking
kitchen.
to Lorraine amongst the snacks and the wine, and
My
the
kitchen.
Avion water.
That wasn't
Um,
wine. That was pure vodka.
Oh no, it's gonna be a fun episode. And I said to her, because she said no, Greg wants to be there 10 minutes early, and I just want to be on time. And I said to her, well, what if you're like get a train or something, and you're right on time? You're going to be late every time. And she had no response.
I said, stuff happens.
Yes, but
Things
stuff
happen.
doesn't have to happen if
What
you're
if the-
10 minutes
what if
early.
what if
Yeah.
you leave 10 minutes early and
Yeah.
you hit like 5 trains, but I leave on time?
5
and the
trains?
trains are gone.
Where's your route that you hit
We live
5
in
trains?
Transcoda. Are you kidding? You could
We
literally
crossed like
we
4 or 5
could
train
literally-
tracks just to get to places.
Yeah.
I would say
But
the
wait,
earlier.
Can I ask you one other?
Yes.
Can I ask Tammy a question?
Train just
Because Tammy hasn't got to talk yet.
This is my life. I sit here and listen back and forth.
she takes it all in.
Who was the last person down here for the podcast?
Lorraine. Lorraine was the last person down here.
Okay, but
But she was feeding the kids.
yes.
But I got home almost an hour ago.
You should ask me what else I did today.
And no, we're not going to go into all those things.
Not a lot. You're slow.
Yeah. Not a lot
Not
quickly.
anymore.
Not a
I
lot
got
quickly.
out of bed at 11 a.m.
I wish.
and then
Actually, no, I don't think I could sleep that long. I was up at 6 a.m. I did a workout.
Hey, as a
Me that.
parent, when was the last time you slept in past noon?
When I went to
Past
Toronto,
noon?
not past noon. I went to Toronto with a friend for the Elevation concert.
Yeah.
And we slept till 9.
Right. Which is pretty late, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like if I sleep till 8, that's perfect.
I guess it would have
yeah.
been 10 because Manitoba time.
Like
right?
sleeping in is like 9, 10 o'clock. Nobody that's an adult sleeps past 11 o'clock that goes to bed at a regular hour.
No adult, eh? Well, let's
Have
put
you
it out
done
to
it?
the podcast universe. Have you slept past 11 a.m.?
Put it in the
But
comments.
As an
But-
adult.
but
and
wait.
who's an adult? Anyone over 18?
But wait, you have
Or
to go
25,
to bed.
35? What's an adult?
Somebody who's 18 is
Like-
definitely sleeping past noon.
Yeah.
Still, like, has reasonable responsibilities.
So what are we talking about
Reasonable,
adult?
yeah.
25 plus? 30 plus?
Somebody that has reasonable responsibilities.
Right.
Like kids,
So
a job,
that leaves it.
a family.
Okay, so
Like somebody who's a reasonable adult
Right.
that has reasonable responsibilities.
Right.
So there's some people in our life
Yeah.
that doesn't have reasonable responsibilities.
we should call Brandon and see what time he slept until on
Yeah.
Saturday.
So you went, that was a segue. He's like, let's name all the irresponsible people in life. And she's like, I know
No,
one.
you know what? He should be doing that
Okay,
because
do you
like,
have your phone on you?
no,
Oh,
he should
Awesome.
be doing that because once he gets married and
Yeah.
like starts having kids, that's done.
Okay, so I have a
not
question.
an
I'm gonna backload that has something to do with that.
backload.
Well, the front load is when you would do it first. Backload is when you do it at the end. But
Backfill.
hold
isn't
that
it?
thought. By the way, dicking around, over dicking, that's from the movie Set It Off. I looked it up. Set it up
Set it up.
with
With
Glenn,
Glenn
with Glenn
Powell.
Powell.
we
When did you
over-dicked
say that?
around.
Remember, we talk about dinking around, over dicking around.
Yeah, but you getting onto your flight and you.
Yeah, and then
You
he wants to be
overdicted.
early,
I
and then
overdicted.
your friend
I
and
didn't overdick
over
because I didn't miss my
dicking.
flight.
It's from a movie called Set It Up.
Yeah, but
with
people
Glenn
that
Powell.
dick around eventually over dick.
Right, and
We
and
overdicked!
it's like we overdicked, and then they almost missed the flight. That's from Set It Up. Glenn Powell and the generic white
And
now
not
current
God.
guy
the
who's in
current
every
general.
single rom.
I don't know.
Apparently,
that
he's going to be on
was-
the next podcast.
That was the most relaxed I've ever traveled.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she almost
you,
missed her
Jamie.
flight.
Right.
No, we did not. We were the last one on the plane, but we did that on purpose.
Why do people stand up to get off that plane at the end and at the
That is
beginning to
so
get
annoying.
to load?
Tell me your thoughts, Tammy.
This guy does.
Why
that.
are we standing? Why are
Okay.
we like trying to put?
Do you want to
tilt
know
our
the
heads?
answer to these questions?
Yes. Why do we do it, babe?
So every row has enough room for you to stand up and get bags out and put them onto the seats instead of sitting on them. So if you stand up and get your bag out, when it's time to get off the plane, you can get off the plane. Now, what happens is some people think, well, why does everybody stand up? So they're sitting
Are
down.
you talking like Tammy? Is that supposed to be like Tammy?
Why does everybody stand up?
No,
I'm
just
from
giving-
the deep south and I'm
No,
kind
no,
of slow.
But you
So-
can get up when you see 2 rows ahead of you has now exited. That's your cue to
Yeah.
get up and get
You
your
gotta
stuff.
time it right.
No, because there's enough room for every row to have at
The-
least one person up.
One person.
Yeah.
But the person that's on the inside is standing up and forcing me
Yeah.
to stand up when like nobody has moved.
Well, the person on the inside, like
And
whoever,
they're standing there like this, looking at me like I'm the jerk.
I'm going to explain it this way. The aisle person, their responsibility is to get up and grab bags from the overhead.
I don't know the person. I'm not
That
grabbing
is
their bag.
not a rule in any way.
Is it etiquette?
It is etiquette. So you get up,
And not
you
grab
get
other
your
people's
bag.
bags.
You don't have to grab
Oh,
other
no, no.
people's.
See, but I don't have
No,
bags.
you get your bag.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
It was
thought you were
Tim.
tossing everybody's bag out from the inside. You
But-
get a bag. You get a bag. You get a bag.
But honestly, so
Everybody gets
so
up
the
there.
front couple rows, they're all standing up to get their things and they're ready to go and they start going. What happens is the people that are sitting there going, these guys are crazy. They're just sitting, they're just standing up. And it's their turn. Then they get up and they're like, oh, they give it old stretcheroo. Let's get my bag out of there.
No, but I'm
And
saying
meanwhile, 5 rows back, I'm like, what the frick, dude? You had all this time to get up and get your bag out of there, but now you're stretching and you're taking
It's
time.
kind of like the guy at the red light, and he has one. Right? You always
He has
think, you
one
have
job.
one job.
Is to go when the light turns green.
but that's my point is not everybody needs to stand up at once.
Agreed.
You can see 3 rows ahead of you. Oh, they're
How-
getting
how
up and
slow
leaving.
are you?
yeah.
I'm
you
not
see-
slow, low.
I'm not
I can get
standing
my
there for
bag in
10
plenty
minutes.
of time after this guy,
It's-
Frank, in front of me and John in front of me moves. I'll get my bag. It's a backpack. You know that.
So it's twofold. One, it speeds up the process. Two,
Does
it
not
allows
speed.
me to stretch my legs because I've just been sitting on an airplane for a certain amount of time and I'm ready to stand and I'm ready to.
So that is the answer. He's antsy.
Yes.
I heard.
Hence
I
why
heard the answer.
Also, when it's not our time to board, he'll stand.
Yeah.
He'll be one of those people standing.
because I know I'm going to sit for the next 3 hours.
But like you stand where where
But you
it's
should not be
congested.
standing by the line because then you're like, are you group 1? Are you
And
group
I'll
2?
be like, "Babe,
no, you're
let's
group
just
5.
sit and
Why are you
relax."
standing here?
oh no, I
Group
don't
one-
do that.
Yeah.
I'll stand in the queue that I'm supposed to stand in.
But you know what's nice though? Greg will be the guy standing, and the kids and I will just like hang out and relax.
And then they join me.
Okay, let's just so you don't have to talk anymore. Let's assume you're right getting off the plane. What is this when like rows A through Z or whatever, and you're Z and you get up, even when it's not your turn, everyone just gets up ready to board the plane, even when it's a long line. Do you join the end of that line when it's a long line?
When they call,
When
for
they
group
call
1
you
and
for
2,
boarding.
I'm going to
and
tell
group
you.
3 and 5 join in.
I'm going to tell you a reason why all of this is happening.
Okay.
This didn't happen before. The problem is, A, they charge for checked luggage now. So everybody brings multiple bags onto the airplane. Now they charge for undercarriage or overcarriage luggage. So now people are fighting for the overhead bin size.
Space. Yeah.
And what happens is when they say, just to let you guys know, we're oversold for luggage.
We will
and
check your bags
we will
for
check
free.
your bags for free. Most people don't want to check their bags because A, it has their electronics in
Yeah.
it, so they don't want to lose that electronic that they're going to use on the plane.
Yeah.
B, nobody likes to be separated from something that they thought they were going to have the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, if they stopped charging for checked bags and just charged
least for one.
just charge an exorbitant amount for overhead bin bags,
Or multiple.
no, just charge a big amount and tag them like Flair does. Flair tags them. When you get on, if you have a bag, it gets tagged with a certain color. And if you
Green.
get tagged with a green is for under bags, for under
Under the
your front seat.
No, purple.
Purple, whatever. It's a color that
Final
goes
answer.
under the front seat.
Purple.
And then there's a tag that goes for the people that have them for the overheads.
Yeah.
And then there's a tag that goes under the thing.
You're too big. Get out of here.
Right?
Um,
So if they just stop charging for the under bags and just worried about charging for the ones that go above and charge $100. I don't care.
For carry on.
I feel like they
No,
do
not
that.
the carry on, the overhead bags.
No.
Like
Some do.
Like
Yeah, like
personal bags, what's going under
Yeah,
the seat.
so carry on that goes above.
So you heard it first in the Greg and Tim show. Greg says that all carry-on bags should be slapped with $100 charge
Yeah.
on all airfares.
But your
Tell us
first
what you
check
think in
bag
the
free.
comments.
But your first
and the
but your first check bag free. First check bag free. That will allow people to get off the plane faster.
Right.
Because there will be less bags in the overheads.
Yeah, but you still got to wait for that check. The reason I don't check my bag is because it takes me an extra half an hour to get going where I'm going.
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes around this thing, and I'm
But
sitting there.
if I told you you had to pay $100 to check your overhead bag, you would just bring your bag.
I would just get
Bring his
mad at you.
backpack.
We still
I get
only
so
bring our
mad.
backpack.
Which is no different.
Yeah.
This does not apply to Tim.
No. Like it makes it harder because I have to have a smaller backpack.
Mhm.
So I have to be more
Okay,
strategic
but
about it.
what about the little square thing that Flair has for you to fit your
Yeah,
personal bag into?
yeah, that's a personal bag.
That is not the appropriate size. I just experienced this going to Toronto, and the amount of people that were like shoving their backpacks into
Yeah.
this like little square box,
Yeah.
so they could like take their backpack, their personal item onto a plane
Yeah.
was like insane, and people were like getting so upset.
WestJet just increased the wideness or the amount of space for that.
Really?
Yeah.
And
A
it should
week
be
ago.
because it fits under the seat.
Fits under the seat, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, my backpacks.
Your,
But
your
it
It
70
can't be
gallon-
touch and go.
Your 70-gallon backpack almost fits under the seat.
Almost is the key word. I like kicking it.
It fits though.
It better fit. Everything's not
Okay.
breaking.
Enough with plane stuff. What else you want?
Planes,
to talk about?
trains, and automobiles. So we
Okay,
have
so
them
next thing I
planes.
want to talk about is trains.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just went on a train
You did?
from
Train-
Dallas
yeah.
to Austin.
Yeah.
Plane, trains,
Right.
and
It
automobiles.
was
I love it.
6.5 hours.
We're sponsored by
delayed.
John Candy. And
Oh my gosh.
That's a long train ride.
No. It was only
It was delayed by
6.5 hours delayed.
Oh,
So how
6
long
hours.
was the train ride?
Yeah.
An
No,
hour?
it was delayed while on the train as well.
Yeah, you're
so
longer on the train.
It was like 4 hours.
no, it's more than 4.
So it was a 10-hour train ride, essentially.
Well,
We-
some
Could
of
you
it.
have driven?
Oh, absolutely,
faster. Oh.
absolutely. But we didn't have a car at this
Oh.
time because they were at the concert in Dallas, and Taylor.
Would it
didn't
have
wanna
been
hit
better
gas.
if
Fort Worth.
they just let you have the car?
No.
No.
There wasn't a. Then we would have had to have gone back to Dallas to get them.
Yeah, but
Fort
then
Worth.
you would have had your hotel.
Chris Brown from Elevation got
Maybe.
in
Maybe.
trouble for
What
that.
happened?
Well, not so. Chris Brown came out it's in Fort Worth,
So
which is a
different-
totally which is the totally
Not in
different.
trouble.
different.
No,
Chris Brown.
he said, "Welcome Dallas," and whatever. And then at the second song, and then the second song was, I realize now that I called it Dallas, and we're not in Dallas, we're in Fort Worth. My
It's Dallas, Fort
apologies.
Worth, though.
It's a twin city.
They're
Yeah.
different cities. That's
Yeah.
like saying when you're in St. Paul, welcome everyone to Minneapolis.
You'd say Minneapolis, St. Paul.
He felt the need to clarify. And Chris
Yeah.
Brown, yes, is
Yeah,
from
and it's a
Elevation.
different Chris Brown.
Not
than what
the
most
other
people
Chris
say.
Brown.
Well, but it's like going to the concert
the
in
beating one.
Toronto.
Yeah.
And Toronto's their only stop in Canada, and them
Right.
saying, "Hey, Toronto," and you're like, "What?"
And it's in Mississauga.
Have you ever- Exactly. Have you ever been on a train, you guys?
Yes, the Prairie Dog Central.
Oh,
No,
that's not a
that doesn't
I've
count.
never been on the Prairie Dog Central.
And that doesn't, not that
What?
kind of train.
You
Who
never
did
been?
you go with?
I was a kid.
Oh, here I was
My-
hoping to.
Have
uncover
you been on a
something.
train
My
for
mom.
longer
My
distances?
mom. I went with my mom.
No, never
no,
been
we
on a
haven't.
train.
Never been via Amtrak, those kind of trains.
No.
No,
Yeah.
nothing that like.
You got to do it. It's,
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
I'd love to do. My parents went on the
The Rocky
the
Mountaineer.
We'll cut that out.
Mountaineer.
The Rock. No, we're gonna keep that. I'll just bleep it out.
Beep, beep,
The
beep.
Rocky Mountaineer.
Do you see the hand gestures I'm talking about?
I saw it the first
Hey,
time.
I am really good today.
The
Okay.
Rocky Mountaineer.
So that camera can see everything under the table too, just so you know.
It sees me picking off my nail polish right now.
We're gonna zoom in on Tammy's nail polish.
Okay, Tim, you got some questions for us.
Yeah.
No, those are.
No, that was it.
Are we gonna? We're not gonna
Okay,
get
perfect.
into that.
Are we
So-
gonna talk? Are we gonna?
okay.
talk?
Hey, we're all done. It's 20 minutes. That's a
No.
perfect length.
No, I had some because we're couples.
Well, we still
we
have
have
to talk about the
children,
government stuff too.
and I don't want to get to. I want to leave that. I want to leave that to the end.
The government stuff?
Tammy's gonna get.
No, the stuff that you spent 40 minutes avoiding when you and Lorraine did the podcast.
Tammy
together.
might be flipping this table tonight,
Why?
Oh, that would create some views.
right?
It'd be like, you know how at the peak during the episode was like, and then boom. It was like,
Tammy
talk about Taylor
flips
Swift
the
and Travis Kelsey. It'd be like, Tammy flips the table.
Well, you don't like Taylor Swift?
No,
he's talking about
I'm
where it
saying
flipped.
when the moment she flips the
my God.
table
Taylor Swift's
Can't-
moment.
is like,
can't
because
keep
Greg
up.
showed me, okay, we talked about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey, and it shows you the viewership of the episode. It's like, woo, and all of a
Did
sudden there was a
you-
huge spike.
Did you hear that Taylor Swift is in hiding?
I heard that her and Travis Kelsey were going to break up.
Oh yeah,
last
they had a
year.
contract to break up. Yeah, that didn't happen.
I just can't talk. That is ridiculous.
When's the contract up?
AI didn't have anything to do
You
with
went to
that
AA?
at all. Go ahead, continue. You were saying?
Did you say
no,
something
that
about
was
going
that
to
was
AA?
my
That was
point.
it. That was it.
That was it.
That was the
Taylor
end of-
Swift's in hiding.
You said you had a
What?
question that was
Nobody knows.
How
Is it
is Taylor
true?
Swift in
No one
hiding?
knows.
like deeper questions.
It's-
I'll go on
it's-
to the
It's
political
from the
stuff.
internet. It's likely not true.
You know what's funny?
I agree.
Honestly, this conversation that we're having right now, Tammy, you know this already. This is exactly how we always just hang out. And I don't
And
know.
I just sat there looking back and forth between everybody.
I don't know if any of this is interesting, but this is like our converse. This is basically joining us in a living room right now, and this is what we would be talking about. Except add Matthew and Carla into the mix,
Right.
And then it's a party.
Hey, so I went to vote today.
For what? That's what I was going to ask.
The
What are you
election, the
voting
by-election.
The
right?
Transcona is having a by-election
That's
because
what I
thought. Didn't you guys
our
just have one?
MLA.
Does that
we
have something
had-
to do
We
with-
had a trustee election
for? Oh.
because the trustee got canceled. So we voted a new trustee, and then we voted a new MLA because our MLA passed away.
Oh, okay.
So the guy
Now
who
we're
used to
voting a
be our
new
city
MP?
councilor, Sean Nason, is running as an MLA conservatively. But Transcona normally will vote NDP. So Eden goes to me. She actually came with me and like got to go behind the little booth thingy, and she like picked the name. I'm not telling you who we voted for.
It rhymes
but she was,
with-
but she was very proud of herself that she like she was like super involved, and then they gave her a little sticker that said "future voter." It was so
Well,
cute.
I-
But yes, it feels like we vote all the time. My question was though, we went to this advanced voting, and they are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in this like industrial building. I was the only one there. Do these people literally spend however many 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. there and get paid?
Oh,
Yes.
they get paid well.
We know
So
some people
what
in
a
church.
waste of money, in my opinion, because like you've a whole week or whatever.
You didn't tell us who they are.
No, we don't need to know.
What do you mean?
But you have a whole week of advanced polls, and you're paying these people an exorbitant amount of money
Yeah.
for a little riding of Transcona. I get it if it's like federal election or provincial, but like a little tiny riding.
Yeah.
I just think that's, I don't know. I guess I look at all this government.
Is it federal or provincial? It's provincial.
It's provincial, yeah.
We just voted for the federal one. We
What
had a
was that?
federal one too because Blakey stepped down.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like this is our
See, this is what
this
you're
is
doing.
our-
This is what I feel
This
like.
is what we're
Again,
voting.
this is
another
our
vote.
third revote. So like we had to vote for our new MP because our MP stepped down. New MLA because our MLA passed away. New school trustee because our school trustee
Got
apparently
canceled.
got canceled. So like we're voting all the time in Transcona. This is part of our life
Greg
now.
says he's going to run next.
I'm
for
going to.
whatever-
No, we
whatever
talked about
party there
this.
is.
No, by run like physically.
Oh, okay. This is, we heard how you sound during a marathon, so is that?
Oh my.
Like I smoked 5 packs of cigarettes.
Okay,
with,
so speaking
with
of
friends of mine.
What does that mean?
Well, we
no, wait,
can't.
that's
There's
okay.
inside
You
jokes
can't
that we're
have
not.
inside jokes on a podcast.
Yeah, because we can't. Call
you
people
have
out.
to
Why?
because we can't call him out.
then
or
you
her.
don't- Then you can't say
Him
it.
or
Nobody
her.
wants to
Or
hear
her.
your inside jokes.
No,
we
but-
didn't say it.
Yeah, we
You're
can't-
the one that's upset.
Yeah, flip the table.
Valerie,
Hey, flip the table. But we talked about politics, so we opened up the door a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
let's talk politics.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
Is
we
it-
want to hear
is
from
it-
Tammy. Tammy,
is
what
it?
do you
Is
think?
it the last since we talked and recorded our last episode? We got a new prime minister, right?
Got sworn in.
Correct?
Depends who you ask. He actually was sworn in.
He was sworn in. today.
He's our unelected prime minister. Yes.
Yes.
But we
Well,
received.
he was voted in by 150,000
Right.
Canadians.
Okay.
What?
But the
the
other
liberal part by
the
the
other
liberal
34
parties.
million.
I think it's 37 million now.
Oh, is our
I think it's actually
population
higher
grown
than that.
much?
I think it's
Yeah.
closer to 40.
Well, when you
I
open
don't
the
know,
floodgates.
But either way, let's hope
what do you
that
want
this
to talk
isn't gonna
about?
last long.
What kind of politics?
Mark
do you
Carney, what are your thoughts? Go.
Oh, let's not.
So Mark Carney
want? We don't really know much about him.
is a very big enigma in Canada. He apparently was Trudeau's advisor. So what did he advise him on?
The carbon tax.
The carbon tax, which everybody loves, right, Tammy?
Hey, it goes up
I've
on
got
April
nothing to
1st.
say. That's good. So my mom taught me if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything.
Which
at
is
all.
which is terrible advice for a podcast.
And Lorraine's mom taught her. Lorraine's mom taught her to speak her mind.
If you have something to say, just say it.
Oh yeah, speak your mind. But
You don't want to tell us what you think of Mark Carney?
I have nothing. I really don't know him.
I think we have to give him a chance.
A chance to
No.
what?
I feel
Destroy
like there's
the
no
country?
chance to be needed. But I don't think there's like. We
Okay,
don't know him.
question. Between now and November, when do you think we'll have an election in Canada?
I'm hoping
fall.
May.
It's fall.
you think it'll happen like October?
I think the Liberals should actually call it right away because people don't know much about Mark Carney and because his numbers are
good
high.
point.
I think the more time goes and people get to know him and people are like, oh, right, he hasn't lived in this country
Right.
for X amount of years. Oh, right, he was advising
He
Trudeau
called
on all
himself a
these
European.
things. I think when people start learning these things, and Polivier is going to bring it out. He's like
Polyev?
Polyev is going to bring out these things in a campaign. So
Right.
if you trick people into not knowing, I think that's
Yeah.
his best chance. But now they say, well, if the polls say if Mark Carney, and now he is the leader of the Liberal Party, they could win an election, which is ridiculous. People don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the longer time goes on and he can shoot himself in the foot more,
Yeah.
I think it's bad news for him.
The other thought that I had was how Trump, while he's bringing all these things in, he's actually hurting Polyev
Oh, for
by
sure.
doing it. He thinks, oh, I'm going to come in, I'm going to tell you what's wrong with your country because there's a lot, and I'm going to like help you guys, right?
Yeah.
He's actually like,
Well, Ravid told
Who?
us
Ravid.
Uh,
He's the man known as Ravid.
He said the problem is Polyev is seen as buddy with
yeah.
Trump, and people are mad at Trump. So people will
Polyev's doing a good
As-
job of separating himself, though.
as a sideways move,
Yeah.
but people are dumb.
No, but like if you watch
Except
the
your
latest,
audience.
Yeah.
They are very
watch the-
smart.
our
Some
audience
of them
is
are kinda
extremely smart.
dumb,
Thank
too.
you for watching, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. But he's doing a really good job of separating himself. Like I've been watching his stuff, and he's Yeah.
Right, but it's
I try not to watch anything because it just gets me riled up. So I'm just like, okay.
And
this
I
is-
love
That
this
gets Tammy
stuff.
riled up.
Gets
Va-va-va-voom.
me angry and
Oh,
feel-
angry.
well, so
It's
you'll
about the same.
feel
you'll-
like my voice is useless.
yeah. Well, you were
So-
talking glowingly about the anti-Trump demonstrations
I
that are
was, like,
planned
so
for
frustrated. I'm
Vancouver.
like, there's like
Oh,
an
I didn't hear
anti-Trump.
about that.
I'm like, who gives a rip? You're Canadian. Why are we having anti-Trump things in Canada? We're Canadian.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus,
how about we just
plus
build
it
up
doesn't make it.
our own country? How about we build up our own
Mm-hmm.
But
people?
you can't
Tam,
be
it's Tammy's
surprised.
monologue time. Tammy's doing her monologue. Stop interrupting.
But what I said is you can't be surprised. Or someone's going
Right.
to rage. There's people that are mad at Trump. So, but
yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
going to
he's
be
a controversial figure. He
Yeah.
has
He
been
is,
for a long
But
time.
he doesn't. Yes, he affects our lives, but it's better to build up your own, so that you. What I don't understand.
So
he's
what-
not. He's not Canadian.
What are the things you're not supposed to talk about around a dinner table?
religion,
Religion?
sex.
Really?
Really?
I'm just
Well, I
I'm
guess
just talking about the
sex is probably-
taboo.
Like
the
these are
taboo
all things that are
subjects.
talked about around my dinner table growing up.
Okay.
Religion?
Really? You
Fine.
grew up and your parents talked about sex at the dinner table?
Well, in an appropriate age. group.
Appropriately, yeah.
Right. Okay, let's talk about that.
Well, wait, we
What
did
is
did religion. No, we haven't done religion yet. We've done
Well,
politics.
let Lorraine.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Lorraine
Let's
and
talk
Ta-
about
and
you
Tammy
and
continue this
me. Let's
conversation.
talk
Don't
about
cut- don't
all
cut
the
'em
good
off.
things and the bad things there
Gosh.
could be. Let's
Carry
talk
on
about
forever.
sex.
A, never sing again. Two, B actually would be A, then B. Let them discuss.
Did we discuss
No,
it?
my question is, like I grew up and that was like not something we talked about.
Oh,
And so in other households, it's very much talked about. I have 2 kids that are like not quite there yet, but I'm pretty open with them about everything, and they're 8 and 11. But like I just find that unusual that you as a kid that was something that your parents talked to you about.
absolutely, totally. That was not something that was ever. You have a question? Oh, I'll give you an age-appropriate answer.
Can we get your
So
mom on
would
the phone?
you have asked the question in front of your siblings?
Okay, here's the thing though. I'm like quite a bit younger than the siblings ahead of me.
Right.
So
Except Bernard.
do I think that they were like that with my older siblings? Maybe not.
What do you think changed? Was it
I don't know what they were like with my older siblings. But I know with me it was very open.
so at what age did you start talking to your kids about it?
Oh, as soon as they had questions. So I remember our daughter asking us, there was a show on TLC, John and Kate +8. And I used to watch it because that was my trash TV. But
it was a pretty good show.
my daughter asked me about it. Then I said, oh, I was lucky. I only ever had one in my belly at a time. So she's like, oh, look at that belly. It's
Yeah.
huge. But so yeah, she asked the question. I answered it appropriately.
How old
like
would she have been?
4. I was going to say
Whoa.
4 too.
Whoa. 4, that's
Our kids have
Crazy
have
early.
had questions and we've answered those questions like early. We have family members that have had surgeries and we've had to answer those questions appropriately.
I had a family member transitioning from a woman to a man.
yeah.
And so I think when they were 9, 10 years old, we're driving and they're like, yeah, like we're talking about Cher's boy now, Chaz. You know Cher, the singer, right? Well, the
Yeah.
singer
Yeah.
transitioned
She
from
was-
a
Yeah, Cher was
girl
having
to
a girl
concert
to a
here.
boy. I think
She
it was.
Chastity, and then she became
Yeah,
Chastity.
right. So
Yeah.
we were just talking about it. It's like, yeah, they can do this, and this is something that happens. And I think they had a conversation at school like the next
No,
week.
no. And then someone at school said, oh, the boys can't beat girls. And then our daughter just
Yeah.
responded, actually, there's a surgery for that. And that's like,
yeah, she got in trouble for it.
well, nowadays she wouldn't.
She got
but
demerits.
that's it. Like
She got
we did let
demerits.
our kids know these things and
Yeah.
we answered it age appropriately. And then we said, but this is a conversation. Like you don't like she just said, oh, actually there's a surgery for it. She didn't go into any details.
Yeah.
But I said details, you can answer what you think, but details, don't talk about this. This is for mom and dad to
Yeah.
talk to their kids about. Just because we think you're ready doesn't mean that somebody else is ready.
Yeah. I know. I remember Eden asked where babies came from. We were on our way to school. And I had briefly had a conversation with her about it, but Cruz was in the car. And Cruz had
still
never
wanna know.
really.
They come from the couch.
The couch.
I'll talk to you later, Greg.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
Cruz had never really asked about it. And I said, well, does Cruz want to hear where babies come from? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to know everything? And he's like, okay. Right? Eden's like, yeah, I
Are
want to know
you
everything.
ready for this?
So I laid it out. Eden was probably 5. Cruz would have been 7. No, Eden was probably 6. Anyway, around those ages.
6 and 8.
And so I told them everything, and we pull up to school. And Cruz was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm a boy. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And Eden's like, I'm never having kids. Like, And then they're getting out of the car, and I'm like, don't tell your friends. They might not know.
Did you know that babies come from?
And Santa's not
Actually,
real.
my kids still believe in Santa. It's at that point. They don't now. They found us out.
Oh yeah,
Your
we
kids
have
believe in
kids.
Santa?
We have
No.
kids that watch the
Never?
show, and now
they
the-
probably did. Yeah,
We don't have kids watch the
Yeah,
show.
we
Give me a
do.
break.
Yeah,
no, they stay up late with their parents.
and watch the show
Not really
and
young.
talk about sex.
we,
apparently,
we don't have really
Have you
young
guys ever
kids.
brought up sex on this show before?
We're 2 guys, not really.
You're guys. What do you mean not really?
Actually, that's one topic we just probably have never talked about.
so let's talk about it.
No, let's not.
Favorite?
No.
Okay, so speaking of Santa Claus,
Yeah.
Eden actually caught us, and then I had to she didn't catch us in
We
the
are
act.
talking about Santa Claus.
We're still
right?
talking about Santa Claus, still Santa, and the Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny was
We're-
hiding eggs.
or you were playing Santa. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my word.
Actually,
Santa, what are you doing? You're hurting mommy.
Oh my word.
so Eden goes.
This is
to
why
me.
we don't talk about sex on the show.
Yeah, you guys would probably haven't put a warning on. Are you
Warning.
okay?
Warning, you must watch this with your ears closed. Do not fill your ear balls or any other balls with this.
Oh wow.
So Eden said to me, she's like,
Yeah.
Mom, you're Santa Claus, aren't you? And I was like, why would you say that? She's like, well, I think you're Santa and you're the Easter Bunny and you're the Tooth Fairy. And she just called me out.
And Dad
And-
just sits around and does nothing.
Did she say
We've
that?
established that already. No, I'm just kidding. Don't ask me what I did today.
slow.
She did something very slowly.
And at that point, I was like, do I continue lying to my children?
Yes.
Right.
Because they had continually, Mom, are you Santa? No.
No, you
If
don't lie to them.
If you
if
don't
they ask.
believe, you don't receive, right? And at that point,
Yeah.
Eden was like 7, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time. And I
Because
said,
at
do you
some
want to
point
know
you're
the
like
truth?
teaching the kids that it's okay to lie.
Exactly. And so I said,
We talked about
"Eden,"
lying.
and again, same with the whole where do babies come from? I said, Eden, do you want to know the truth? Because we can't go back. And she's like, I want to know everything.
But in
And I
knowing
told her.
everything, there's an appropriate level.
Yeah,
Do
we're
share.
Yeah.
we just shared everything. I
What
wasn't
do you
there.
mean?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
We have never perpetuated myths. Typically, like we don't sit our kids down and say,
I
think
never
Santa
grew up
is.
with that.
It's just if when our at least my rule.
You didn't grow up with Santa?
No, I didn't even have a Christmas tree. I didn't have a TV. Okay.
Oh wow.
That's something that
I
you
didn't have a
both
TV, but that's
have
just
in
because
common.
we just didn't have a
But
TV.
but Lorraine was also she lived in the Amish country.
No,
Right.
well, it's not actually Amish have moved in to Vida. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
since the incident,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the so we have never
Since the
our,
incident.
our policy has been if somebody is asking if a kid's asking you a question, we just answer it
Right.
honestly, and
Yeah.
sometimes the answer is short
Yeah.
based on what they can understand.
Right.
But something like
So when your kid goes up to you and goes, "Is Santa Claus real?" You're like, "Nope." And that's it.
well, we
Walk
might
away.
I might turn around and say, "What do you think?" I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like blurt out, "Yeah, Santa's not real."
Yeah.
and
So-
that's not
And
my.
we
Did you
let
bring
them
your
know
kids
there
up with
is
Santa?
actually- Santa Claus comes from a real person. The story.
But
of
did
Santa
you
Claus comes from-
did you bring them up with Santa Claus?
Not
No.
really. No,
We didn't. They never got gifts from Santa Claus.
Not
we
even
got
stockings?
stuffing,
no, the dog
or
didn't
stuffing,
either.
Stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like it came from Santa.
Where'd it come from?
See, I think where
Us.
Us,
I think where it
Yeah.
started was like
Uncle Greg.
your I think your traditions is everybody gets a Santa gift and everybody gets a stocking. And so
Yeah.
I just took
Are you
on
checking your
that
phone?
tradition.
J score, yeah.
Tim, we're trying to have a serious conversation about Santa Claus, for goodness sake.
Yeah, but the Jays are playing baseball in the preseason. Never mind.
It's preseason. Did you hear what you just said? And it's baseball.
I was actually seeing.
Two things.
Anyway,
I'm wearing my
continue.
spring training cap
Yeah.
from last year.
I know.
Please
know
don't
it's-
talk about baseball or
You know that it's
Tammy and I are
almost
out.
been
likes baseball.
You know it's almost been exactly a year since we went on our trip.
I do.
Next week.
End of spring training. Can I okay, let's try. We talking about family
Do
stuff.
you want
Can we-
transition?
Can we transition to some similar questions I had?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to talk about any more about?
No.
Did
No,
I
you're good.
did I cut it off?
Mark
Okay,
Carney?
No, absolutely not.
Carney. I always think of like a carnival Carney.
Yeah,
eh?
like Hey guys, come and jump on the Ferris wheel.
The same voice. Chicka, chicka.
What
He's
is
also
that even
from Arkansas.
from?
It's in Arkansas.
Greg, if you move
Yeah,
south, you'd
most
fit
carnies
in.
are from Arkansas,
Arkansas.
or as they call it, Arkansas.
Yeah, Kansas. Last time we were in Kansas, we got stopped by a blizzard. So I
Remember the joke, Wyoming? Why not Wyoming?
Wyoming? What? I don't get it.
Oh.
Greg tells the dad jokes and Tim tells the good ones.
No, the funny ones. Is it funny?
Whee! So I have two questions. We'll see if we have time for both. I'll go to the better
We'll
question.
have time for both.
No, we got 10 minutes
So
It might take 10.
we
10
are.
minutes
for him to ask the
question.
question. Yeah.
It's in 4 parts.
Why?
Subsection
Two.
one
Watch your camera
A.
there,
I
Georgie.
saw my foot here. So you are now in the time frame in which you have a child that is getting married.
As you point to Greg.
Yeah. You both have a child that's getting married. You have a wedding coming up in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We are getting into that season 2 where, this is coming in the next 5
Any
years.
moment.
When you look back at you guys having a family and
Have.
your parents having a family
Yeah.
and your child having a family, how do you think they are going to find parenthood different from you?
And
They
that's
will-
about it. We are out of time. Thank you for joining us on the Greg.
Some challenges that you've
They
had.
will- they will not make the mistakes we've made.
Why
Well,
do you
we
say
can
that?
different
hope
ones.
they'll,
They'll
make
make
different
right.
ones.
Yeah.
But in the time, things are different, right?
I feel like things are always it wasn't like that for us. It wasn't that hard for us. But I think like in the situation that you're in, the time that you're in, you don't realize that it's the hard.
Yeah.
I don't think you realize what they would call hard is your hard, or what we call hard is going to be that's not going to be their hard.
What are your what was the hard for your parents?
They had to walk uphill
Okay, first of all,
to and from school.
when my parents bought their first house, the mortgage rates were 19%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the houses cost $20,000.
Yeah, but they also didn't
But
make as much money.
also there was one working parent. Like it wasn't wasn't the norm for the mother to work
Yeah.
outside the
No,
home.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So their challenge would have been costs. But nowadays, our kids, like Brandon, they're looking for an apartment because the idea of a house isn't on the table right now. And I'm not saying it won't be, but not
But I
right
also
now.
feel back when my parents bought a house, it was okay to have a starter home.
Right.
Your house, and even when we bought a house, it was okay to have a starter home and something that we could piddle around in.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's almost like because everybody with the social media influence, everybody's
Yeah.
comparing themselves, and you're supposed to have your parents' home for your first home.
Well, we are in the first generation that has to have their kids have their own bedroom, right?
No,
Yeah. Yes and no,
Yes.
I guess.
We had our own bedroom.
No,
I-
I shared with my siblings
I
I had my
until they
own.
moved out.
I only had my own because
Tim,
there
did
was
you
a
have your own bedroom?
brother.
Yeah.
I did.
Your only child.
I did not share.
You never shared
Here's
a
the thing.
room
No, but honestly though,
until you got
he didn't
married.
necessarily have a share room but
That's true.
they had a 1-bedroom house, and so one
Right.
of them either slept when we were dating. They only had a 1-bedroom house, so one
Wow.
person was in the bedroom and one person was on the hide-a-bed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and here's the thing though. The starter homes back in the day, you could get a starter home, and that starter home would have been like 15 years old. Now starter homes, if you want a starter home,
Yeah.
like to afford it, those homes were built in like the 60s or the 50s, and you're buying them with this problem, you're buying them with that problem. And unless you're actually equipped to know how to fix those problems, which a lot of people
Are not.
are not
not.
doing anymore, like they used to, like your parents would have known how to change a toilet. They would have known
Oh,
how
my dad's
to.
a carpenter.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but,
He probably
but
built
even
his house.
He did build his house.
but all of our parents back in the day would have been
Way more handier.
more handy
because
because
that was what you were expected to do.
Yeah.
well, there was less technology.
Yeah.
So when they went to go do something,
There was no YouTube videos that you could Google or
That's
But
true.
That being said, exactly that. Now there's YouTube videos. So if you want to learn how to do something,
You can.
if
But back then,
if you can afford the
you just have to figure
tools,
it out.
if you can afford
You
the
can.
the tools are expensive now. Have you looked at tools these days?
Yeah, but to fix a toilet,
you
you
looked
don't
at
necessarily need too many tools.
I bet you if I asked your daughter's boyfriend
Yeah.
to fix a toilet, he would have to go and borrow tools.
But the reason why, no, yeah, I'm sure, but that's not. It's
I
more
bet you
knowledge.
he doesn't even have a tool like
Well, most
bag.
of them still live at home.
Okay, but the reason why I
No,
can't.
but
He's like
I say
20s.
I say his daughter's boyfriend because he lives on his own.
Oh, yeah.
So if he had to fix something,
But he literally just moved out. So like
the
but
reason
it does take a while to amass tools.
But the reason why I don't fix things isn't because I don't have the tools. It's I don't have the knowledge, and I wasn't taught that as a child.
when
Right.
I moved out, I had screwdrivers of all kinds. I had wrenches of all kinds. And I had like a level, and I had a stud finder. I had the basics of tools that you would need to put together furniture, to put stuff up on the walls.
You
to
know,
do
there's
all that kind of
IKEA
stuff.
furniture.
And now, I bet you 90% of the people that move out, they would rather you, like as a housewarming gift, they would rather you get them a TV or an Xbox or a video game. Like,
Cat.
Our
Cash.
daughter has a
Or
drill
cash.
and has all of that. She has that stuff when she moves out on
Where
her
would
own.
she have gotten that from?
She bought it
Why?
because she needed to fix something on her car, so she bought a drill.
She'll
She
be
needed to get
that's-
this, so she bought a level.
she'll be one that if something goes wrong, her an instinct is to try to learn
Fix it.
how to fix it.
So
Yeah.
okay, but that comes from me. Tim went
Oh.
to men's breakfast. No, this is what happens. Tim went to men's breakfast last Saturday, and he comes home, and I'm in the kitchen taking things down because I want to fix something. And I literally
Yeah.
took down something, took my kitchen apart, cut it down, fix it like I want it, and put it back together.
Yeah, and Tammy, you're very handy, and I think you probably got that from your parents,
I
right?
got that from
Her
my
dad.
And are you a youngest?
I'm a middle.
You're a middle. So
you're
Well,
the youngest,
no, no,
you're
no.
the
Middle's like
youngest
youngest.
daughter, though, right?
Youngest
Yeah,
daughter.
you're kind of the youngest.
Yeah, so you
so,
are
like,
the
your
youngest because
dad,
you're the youngest
you would
daughter.
have still watched your dad, and
Yeah,
you would have been
100%.
alongside.
Oh, I
him
was
and
beside my
what-
dad all the time.
Do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
are all your siblings like that?
Yes,
Okay,
They're all handy?
we're all handy.
so
to a
like,
certain extent.
my dad was super
Mine are all
handy too.
handsy.
He like built my house that I grew up in. But like I was the youngest. And so like I never had to go milk the cows or like take care of the farm or be next to my dad while he's fixing the tractor. I never did any of that.
You did the mother stuff.
I know I went to the mall with my mom.
Yeah, the mother
Right?
stuff.
Like but my older siblings experienced
spend
that
money.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I need to
I
really
think-
like make the effort to like so I have fixed our dishwasher and our freezer and
Yeah, and
I
even
haven't
to
torn
this
anything
day, like,
apart though, but
even to this day, like if something's wrong with our washing machine, I will try to fix it,
yeah.
or I will. my
Tim is very
mom-
lucky to have you.
I am. Yeah.
For
Very much
multiple
so.
reasons.
Or I'll go to my mom's
multiple-
and I'll change. Oh, she's like she wants a new light fixture. I'll change her light fixture for her.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Greg actually did that.
That's not
And,
dangerous.
and I don't think Greg's super
you
handy.
turn off the breaker. Turn white wire to white wire, black wire to black wire, green wire
He
to
probably
green.
didn't turn off the breaker one time. but that's what
I'd
he's
like
"It's
I'd
dangerous."
like an electrician to chime in here on the comments
Like,
tell me-
share, and subscribe.
and tell me
To
if
change
it's
a light
dangerous.
fixture.
Yeah,
You did it.
I did.
How is
I'm not
that
saying it's not dangerous.
Oh.
You turn
You
off
did
the.
it.
Even I know how to do that.
You take your Marettes and you put white
First of all,
to
you
white,
turn off
black
the
to
power.
black.
No, I know how it works, and I know
Remember
how
we
to
were
do
gonna
it.
Get you to install our light.
It's not
over
dangerous.
the dining room table.
No, I
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
because we'd bought it and you hadn't put it up for a while or
I was like,
something.
It was
I'd
like
love
2
to do
years.
that.
He hadn't put it up. It was like 2 years. The thing was there. 2 years, 24
and then
months.
literally that weekend, Greg did it.
No, I didn't have a ladder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would probably sit on a chair. That's
You wouldn't
the
be able to
dangerous
reach-
part is standing
You
on
would
the
be able
chair.
to reach the ceiling with the chair, though. The
Do you-
ceiling's
or
like
the
12
table.
feet tall,
That's
right?
the dangerous part.
Do you guys worry at all about the next generation having
Yes.
kids, and why?
Because of
AI.
our government.
These government.
AI.
I
So-
believe our government is dumbing down kids.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do a belief system that I have.
Let's hear
such
about
a-
your BS.
for such a time as this. Like, I think every child, we're born in a time where some things can be different and more difficult than the generation before.
Yeah.
But it's not like we're born ill-equipped.
Yeah.
We come into this society, we are immersed in a society, and we become equipped and for such a time as this. So I'm not going to say, Churchill, born in this time of day and time, he would not have been equipped for this time. But somebody from this era is equipped because they've lived and been saturated in our society.
Yeah.
They're ready.
Also, the expectation is different, right? Like, I think the generation now, our generation was like, you get married, you buy a house. I think the generation now is you get married and you rent.
I think the generation now is you
and because they
live
don't have
on
a
your
choice.
own, you date, you might get married, you travel, you change jobs 3 times in the first 5 years of your adult life. And like, I don't think that anybody has any sense of like,
there's a lot of choice out there.
Yeah.
Well, the world is much smaller than it was when we were younger.
And so that means that they have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And sometimes
too many options.
Too many options makes it harder to make a decision. And we haven't taught our kids.
And not making a decision is also, we learned last episode, is also a decision.
It's like going to Cheesecake Factory and the menu is like a book and you're like, how am I supposed to pick?
I have the same thing.
I know you do.
Time.
Well, Tim, not everybody
Thai
has
lettuce
your
chicken
strict
wraps
regimen.
with sriracha sauce on the side.
I have the same thing every time, I think, too.
Do you really?
I can't remember
the Bang Bang chicken. You have the Bang Bang chicken. It's the standard. I guarantee you.
Cheesecake Factory.
I don't think I do.
That's
shrimp tacos.
I have the Bang Bang chicken and shrimp.
You up with Greg.
You're mixing me up.
Bang Bang chicken.
You're mixing me up with your.
No, you just have the bread, and then when they come to say, "I'm okay, I'm good with water or bread." That's right. I totally forgot.
That's my kids. Actually, my kids just discovered
kids. Just keep it coming.
Zuppa Toscana soup at Olive Garden. Yeah. Normally, they would just fill up on breadsticks. They love Zuppa Toscana now.
Food hacks with the stewards.
Oh, you can bring some anytime.
So when thinking about becoming grandparents, which in the next whatever amount of years we're going to become, do you have a preferred choice about what you want to be called by your grandkids?
Oh, I can get a good name. I want to be called like...
I don't even want to be called Mrs. Stewart.
Something with slow in it.
I think I'd like to be called Big Papa.
Lola
is the Filipino word for grandma, but it goes with your name. Lola.
She's too washed out to be Filipino.
It's fixed now, okay, Joe?
I would go with Big Papa.
Okay.
I like it when they call me Big Papa.
Okay, kids. I know you're a baby, but you're like, Big Papa.
I'll be like, what's up?
I think the kids will come up with their own names.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
sometimes you can say grandma, and like my sister is called Bapo.
Bapo.
She couldn't say grandma, and then they realized she always wore her Bufflin jersey. And they realized, it took a while to figure out why, but I guess because they called it Grandma Bufflin or whatever, because she always had her Bufflin jersey on, it became Bopple.
Yeah.
And to this day, she's Bopple.
For our younger viewers, Dustin Bufflin was a defenseman for the... Just kidding.
But
he was so good.
For Julian. The other Julian.
Most of the time, though, like, it's closer to, like, a G name or... So, like, my parents were called Papa and Gaga.
She was the original.
She was the original Gaga before Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And why?
That's just what Brandon could say, and then Cole, it just became Papa and Gaga.
The kids basically give
but
it the
Cole,
name.
Cole didn't get to pick the name because Brandon picked the name, and then our kids call my parents Papa and Mama. So Mama is the grandma, obviously, Papa and Mama. And then every now and again, now they're starting to do Grandpa and Grandma.
Yeah.
They're starting to
get older, they maybe.
And I think my parents were really young when Brandon was born, so they liked the Papa and Gaga. It wasn't Grandma.
Yeah,
my grandparents were still alive, right? My grandma was Grandma Stewart,
right?
And my mom was Gaga, not Grandma Stewart.
Yeah,
right, because there was already a Grandma Stewart.
What are you most looking forward to about being grandparents? By the way, with the name I would while you're thinking about
You
it.
have a name. What's your name?
Oh, Opa. My
Opa.
Opa was Opa, so I
You're
like
going to be an
Opa.
Opa?
Yeah, it's German. I'm half German.
I thought it
Friesen.
was Greek.
Friesen is my mother's side.
Yeah, isn't Opa a Greek restaurant?
No, Opa is Russian
Opa is
or German.
for
German, yeah.
Oma and Opa.
So you're going to be an Opa.
What about a
When?
Guido? Opa or a Guido and
That's Ukrainian.
I know. What is it again?
Guido?
No,
Guido.
Guido and
Baka. No,
What?
that's
Baba.
Baba.
Baba and Guido.
Guido.
Well, I grew up in a
I
Ukrainian
didn't hear what she said.
school, and so I constantly always heard people saying, "My Papa
I had a picture
Guido."
of Guido in my head. Sorry. What are you most looking
Anyways,
for?
like honestly, I don't even like it when kids call me Mrs. Stewart.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. Like
Yeah.
Cruz's
Like the
mom, like
Havelka
Eden's
kids?
mom,
The Havelka kids, whenever they come over, they're like, "Hi, Mr. Stewart." I'm
and
like,
it's so polite. But I'm like
There's also like a level of respect. there.
100%.
So so Mrs. Sanderson can sound like ugh, but Miss
Mhm.
Tammy, like I'll go
Yes.
like
yeah,
that,
that's what
you
I
know.
tell my kids too.
there's a
Miss
level of
Tammy,
respect.
Mr. Tim.
But I was also a teacher for a while, so my name was always
Mrs. Sanderson.
Mrs. Sanderson.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
I think you can get used to it,
what do my kids
but-
call you at school?
Mr. Sanderson.
Mr. Sanderson.
They call
They're
me
not allowed
the
to call you
ultimate
Tim.
authority,
Ultimate.
No, but what do they actually call you? Like if
Mr.
Because-
Sanderson.
because my kids know you as Mr. Tim.
No, they'll say
At school.
Mr. Sanderson.
Do they say that?
yeah.
I
I
can't
don't-
picture people calling you Mr.
Well,
Sanderson.
I force them to.
I can picture them calling you Mr. Sandercock.
Okay.
Evan Sandercock.
That's a different person with a mustache.
That's the same person with a mustache.
Okay, give me one thing. Round table, then we're finished. What's one thing you're looking forward to about being a grandparent?
Oh, spoiling them and then sending them back.
Oh, you took mine next.
Because that's the one that
Don't make me
everybody.
go first next time.
I want payback.
That's the one that
Like-
everybody. That's the one that everybody picks. The spoiling and
Yeah.
sending them. Well, spoiling them and sending them back.
What's the payback?
Well, your
All
kids.
the times they annoyed us.
your kids annoyed you, so now you're like, I'm gonna sugar them up and send them back to you, so
I
they
don't.
can.
I wouldn't. I
So
don't
your kids can
I
annoy
don't-
you.
I'm not doing it out of like spite. I'm doing it out of.
doing it out
I
of
love
spite.
them so much, and I just want them to have everything, and
can
so I
hardly wait
give
till
them
the snuggles.
everything.
This
and then
quick
I-
round table's really working out well.
Snuggles, but no.
I guess I'll
but
answer
still-
later.
Still
I'll
full
answer
night's sleep.
tomorrow.
Hey, go ahead.
You
Sorry,
can
Greg.
answer on the next episode. It's your show. We're not going to be here again. It's last
Well,
time.
let's get the
Last
two of
time
us
we're on your
last.
show.
We'll get the
Okay,
two of
go
us
ahead,
last.
Tammy. You're next.
Snuggles and a full night's sleep. But this whole payback thing, I don't.
You don't get full night's sleep now.
I'm
No.
22.
I'm
I'm
when I
25%
had babies,
joking.
I could have all the baby snuggles, but I also did not get a full night's sleep.
Hmm.
Oh.
But when my grandma, I can get all the baby snuggles,
Yeah.
but then still have a full night's sleep.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's only I'm 25% kidding. It's my tariffs.
But yeah, no, I'm like
Take 'em
I'm
back.
totally the one that doesn't want. I don't know. I was not a great kid, so when my kids were great kids, my mom was so.
We'll
glad-
clarify. You didn't have bad behavior.
No, I didn't have bad behavior. I just didn't sleep through the night.
Yeah, that's
My
you.
mom was sick with me their whole pregnancy, and I also didn't sleep through the night till I think it was grade 1 or grade 2. So I was not a great kid. And then so my mom was like, oh, but she was so grateful when I never got sick during any pregnancies, and my kids slept through the night slept through the night 5
Your
weeks.
mom probably felt great for you.
Yeah.
It's
She
like,
was glad for me.
ah,
Yeah, I'm
why
sure.
couldn't you have been
And
like
I
that?
Let's
feel
get her
like-
on the phone and see what she really thought about that.
My mom would be glad for me.
Judy, we have her on the line.
Judy.
Judy from Rosenberg,
That's
go
the
ahead.
best name, by the way, Judy. If your kids have a girl, you should tell them to name their girl Judy.
Judy.
It's a great name, Judy.
Okay, you guys go.
Okay, Tim, do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
I'll go first.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just kidding about the sugar in them up. Kind of kidding. Anyway, because I definitely will.
He's an anti-sugar person.
No, listen,
Yeah.
I will
What would you
definitely.
give-
I
what
will.
would you be giving
I
the
will
kids?
Here's a cracker.
Have a carrot, guys.
I mean,
Done.
honestly, I probably wouldn't spoil it because I'm more of a disciplined kind of first guy. But just hanging out with my grandkids, doing
For sure.
doing things, especially when they're of age. Hanging out at sporting
Yeah.
events, going out
I'm
to
gonna be
restaurants,
that
talking
grandma.
to people.
Yeah.
That's in the
That's
stands.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And cheering my kids on.
What is
Yeah.
that?
That is
You're gonna
my-
do
hey,
what?
Okay, so this is my. I'm gonna move this away from me. No.
Where is that from?
It protects your voice, and you
not
can
Anderson.
cheer really loud, but it protects your voice. And so I would go. I'm gonna move this away, but I would cheer for my kids And they would love it. They love it. They would ask for it. And so I'm going to be that grandma.
Say it again, Tammy.
Sorry to hurt
I
all
don't
your
know if
ears.
that's culturally
Is that your
appropriate.
favorite thing ever or what?
My kids love
Is
it.
that
Pastor
culturally-
Scott Anderson, I think you got it from him. He
No, it's a way of protect. You can go up here to
Yeah,
protect your voice and still be loud.
but he also does that.
See, I
anyway.
just bring a bell. I'm the bell lady.
Yeah.
Mind you, everyone brings bells, so just fit
No.
right
She's
in.
the bell lady.
I'm the Lulu girl.
So just
But I'm going to be that grandma.
Yeah.
That be the loud.
I
one.
think it was my turn.
Okay, sorry.
You already said your turn.
I'm just
Tammy,
kidding.
We
Go-
can totally take this podcast over.
And next Wednesday, the
Remember when Tammy said she wasn't going to talk at all?
this is the first 10 minutes.
You had to
Yeah.
pay her even
I paid her.
to be on the podcast.
Yeah, you're reimbursing the supper we picked up.
Yeah.
You're saying
Your
the
supper?
e-transfer, yeah, $42.
Okay, what do you want?
That's how much your supper was.
Yeah, it's with taxes. Yeah,
That's a lot.
41
Did you
and
tell
change.
Matthew what
41
you
and
wanted?
change.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
I can't wait. I'm
Go ahead.
so
You finish off the show, my friend. Go ahead.
Okay. What I would love.
And we are out of time.
Okay, Greg, go.
What I would love to do with my grandkids is everything that I did with my kids, just reliving it over and over again. And here's the thing.
What's more specific?
I want to have great grandkids. Here's the reason why.
You want to have great or great? Like great.
like
As in, like-
wonderful and great
wonder-
great grandkids.
Oh, you want
So,
to live long.
oh my goodness, if I could just answer the question without being interrupted for 5 seconds.
I'm trying to understand.
I know, I'm trying to explain it.
Okay, go. Sorry, go.
So I like my grandkids, I want to again live the same life that I lived with my kids. I want to take them to sporting events. I want to watch them play soccer. I want to see them grow up. And the difference is obviously they're grandkids, so I won't have them living with me, but I want to be a part of everything that they do. And then I want to have great grandkids and live that cycle all over again. I want to be the grandparent that hangs out with the grandkids.
Yeah.
Like I want to be the grandparent that goes, "Hey, do you want to bring your kids over here? You guys can go out for the night." Because I'll have a lot of free nights because I won't have kids at that time.
And you'll be old.
So I'll be like, "Hey, bring the kids over." I want the kids to come over, right? Unless they're, I can't say it on the podcast, but if they're that way, then I could say, "Sorry, I can't
Your
take the
kid
kids."
So if your kids
my
are
kids
well
have
behaved,
So it's a kid
we
by
will
kid
take-
scenario.
Yeah.
Case,
So
case
if
by
you're,
case.
if you're my grandchild
Yeah.
watching this
Yeah.
right now, if
Yep.
you found this video
Yep.
and you've realized
You're
oh,
not a
grandpa-
grandpa's a lot.
How come
There's a reason.
How come grandpa never has me?
Yeah.
Well, now you know. You're a jerk. And you've probably been a jerk all your life.
And
But
on that note,
You could be nicer and I'll have you over more
Yeah.
Maybe you
often.
could teach them to be nicer.
And maybe I'll teach you to be nicer. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So physical violence was your final answer. So that's a great answer, and it's a great way to end the episode. And just
and I'm out of vodka.
thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe, share, all
Like.
those things.
What
Like,
was your
comment.
favorite conversation? Put it in the comments.
yeah? And so this
Can you believe what they did on Parliament Hill today, though? We'll talk about that next week.
another sorry again to Tara Maslowski as she couldn't come
I
on.
apologize.
We expect her to come on next time.
Tara,
and
like,
the
why aren't you
episode
responding to our
episode was brought to you by
emails?
the coach from the 18-year-old Lorraine.
It's a good coach.
Good coach.
It's a good coach.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.